Coach, one more time,
Yeah.
welcome to another season
Yes,
here
yes.
in the Valley.
Excited.
Um, Jalen, we had him earlier talking about, having more responsibilities for the team, maybe handling the rock a little bit more often.
Yeah.
How do you embrace that new role for him, and what were some of the things that you guys discussed just to make sure that he's ready to go and make sure that he's ready to embrace that role?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question because what he does have to do is embrace it. I was a point guard, and I know how hard it is to be a point guard. And it's more about sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit your game to make sure everybody else is, the collective, the whole entire team is playing well. And he's such a dynamic player that it's going to be something different for him if he's being at the point guard almost full time. So he's going to have to definitely sacrifice some things, but I think he's ready for that. He did a great job last year as being part time point guard. So it's going to be something we talk about throughout the season. I'm going to help him develop into that, and I think he'll do a good job.
You mentioned last week during training camp that you were surprised that the guys came in in great
Mm-hmm.
shape.
Mm-hmm.
That were there, being getting at each other, during
Right.
practice. How do you, as a coach, how do you like that, seeing that from the guys, having that competitive spirit just coming in before games are a few days away? So just
Yeah.
having that competitive atmosphere during practice.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I grew up with coaches. I was lucky to grow up with coaches that were all about competing. And some of my favorite coaches, some of the people I look up to, that's their focus and that's my focus. I say that to players day one. I want elite competitors. So I want that in practice, in games, whatever we're competing against. And I think it was good to see the guys come in ready to do that. But it's not, it's just a process. I mean, some guys are naturally a little more reserved and they don't understand what it takes to be elite competitors, and that's what I'm here and our staff is here for, to help them get there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Coach, for you to be just going through a lot of simulations, whether it be defensive situations or offensive situations, what are some of the things that you wanted to implement that you've seen right now in this or late part of the preseason, where now you guys are a few days away from seeing actual game time?
Well, I don't know if you guys obviously watched last year. We pressed a lot, and we started to do that kind of a month into the season, and I think we'll be able to start with that this season. We're going to switch a lot more, and I think that's something RGV and historically has done. But I think we'll be able to do that a lot more this season. And then with the Rockets doing some unique stuff, we'll be able to do some stuff they're doing also that I haven't done before. So I won't disclose that yet, but you guys will see that in the games. Mm.
I was just gonna ask about that. I was excited. I guess I'll just have to wait a bit. Huh?
Yeah.
No, it's good seeing you, KB. Just obviously with a couple new faces here and there. Just how are you liking the fit of the team so far? You mentioned about getting instructions from the Rockets, perhaps
Mhm.
things you want to implement into this year's team. How is that looking so far?
Yeah, it's always when you learn the system like I had to do this summer and then preseason. You always kind of have to fill it out when you get your players and see what kind of system you're going to run and how you can complement your players with this system. And I think it fits good. The Rockets are defensive minded. We're defensive minded. Obviously, we got a shot spectrum that a lot of teams emulate. Shoot a lot of threes, get to the basket, things like that. So I think it's working well right now. I'm just excited about to see it, come to play on Friday.
You talked about Jalen having the ball in his hands more often this year around. In terms of other guys that can help at least shoulder the load of ball handling and creating for this offense, who are you looking to help kind of aid into that and bring pieces in? I think of guys that are now gone like Ty, Trevor Hudgens.
Right, right. Well, I mean, I think JC, Culver, I mean, you could say he's a vet, right? He's been in the NBA, he's played in the G League. I feel real comfortable with him on the ball, and he's obviously a special talent. One on one, he can make plays for people. So, he's going to be valuable. And then obviously we got our two ways. When they come down, they're going to be really good for us. Jermaine Samuels, Nate Hinton, all our guys, Nathan. So with them, they can all help out in that. So our offense is going to be built on, everybody kind of playing together and being able to play multiple positions.
What are some of the keys of winning this season's opener?
Well, playing Memphis, right? And Memphis is well coached. Jason's a great coach over there, and he's had the team for a couple of years, so they really know his system. Memphis, the Grizzlies, obviously has a great system. So they're all about making you shoot shots you don't want to shoot, and they bait you into shooting bad shots. So they have a great tight defense. So the ball movement is going to have to be important, really important. We gotta, because they rotate really well. So that first pass might not be it. The second drive might not be it. That third pass might be it. So if we're selfish, they destroy selfish teams. You have to be an unselfish team to beat them guys.
What can Memphis expect from the team?
Hunger. I mean, we had some good battles last year, us in Memphis, and I love it because they're a really good team, really well coached team. So, but I think guys coming back, they're hungry. That we have unfinished business, obviously, and even the guys that are starting here, they're hungry. So we're going to be hungry out there. We're going to be ready to go, excited, intense, and we're going to compete at a high level.
Great to have you back once
Thank
again.
you. Good seeing you.
Got to go see Houston over the weekend, and we hope that many of their improvements will also benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I want to ask, we saw Cam play a little bit on Saturday, a little more last night. Ty came down a little bit last year.
Mm-hmm.
Possibilities of Cam Whitmore being here?
Well, I mean, a coach told me this a long time ago. Coach who you have. That's what I do. I don't know because I just get it. They say he's coming down, and that's it, and then we're rocking. So for me, I focus on who we got here, and if they come down, great because Ty obviously was great for us. Cam's a special player, so if we have him, it'll be amazing. So we'll see.
And we talked about some of the returning players coming back again. Talk a little bit about Darius and also Trey.
Oh, it's great to have both of them. Darius obviously had a really good year. I think he was second in the league in scoring, if I believe. Yeah, I mean, he's just a rock. He's one of the rock of what we did last year. He's very important for us. Or his shooting, his intensity, the way he plays, his professionalism. As a young kid, a young man. I'm sorry. So it was good to have him back because it's a face I can see and I know I'm gonna get from him. And then Trey Mitchell, we joke and say he's the greatest Viper ever because he's been here for a while. But he's a coach's dream, and I say this all the time. And when I am an NBA coach, I'll be finding him. I'll find him wherever he's at and say, give him a roster spot because he deserves it.
And just one final question. I noticed that especially with Houston, they really have improved on stopping baskets at fast breaks. They've gone from last to first in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the things you'll try to emulate now this year with the Vipers?
Oh, no question. I think, obviously Ime is a great coach. I've learned a lot from him just from being around him, that short period of time. And he's defense focused. And I think this is how you practice it every day, how the wording, the messaging every day. And I think, having guys like Dylan Brooks or Fred VanVleet, these guys are good leaders. And I think we have guys that bring that same effort with RGV. So we're going to definitely try to do that.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, no
Any
problem.
more questions for KB?
Coach, just one on my end real quick. You obviously played in the Big Ten. The passing Coach Knight, who you've had many of battles with. Just any thoughts on that?
Well, first, just rest in peace, and pray for his family. That's always tough when somebody passes, but it's just it was a dream come true. He's part of the culture, the mystique of the Big Ten, and just the college basketball anyway, right? So when I played there and I was able to be on the same court as him coaching, it was like Michael Jordan as a coach. I'm looking at him with awe. So it's always amazing to be able to experience that. But then at the same time, me as a coach now, I still look back at some of the stuff he says, and I look at the YouTube clips of him yelling at people or doing whatever, and I'm like, I gotta get some of that sometimes. So, he's a legend, and just he'll be missed. Yep.
Thank you, KB.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.